pick a pile. Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, we're going to utilize a pick a pile today. If you'd like to perceive and receive perhaps a message with meaning for you today. Sorry, I'm a little chilly today. If you'd like to perceive and receive a message maybe meant for you, we're going to utilize karma cards and karma angels, runes, and of course a scroll. And as well, where Mr. Ghost Gift is here, kick in, we have Ghost Tube for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Please do receive or release freely. So when you are ready to gaze and make your choice, if you want to go with pile 1, 2, 3, or find a combination, which ones stand out to you in a particular order, I'm going to take a moment to open up while you do such. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of anyone here at any time. May you meet a message with meaning. Thank you for being my muse. All right. I feel like I forgot to say something there. Anyway, it's fine. Did you choose? Let's go. Pile 1. Pile 1. We can have lots of fun. Pile 2. There's so much we can do. Is that like Backstreet Boy? No, that's New Kids on the Block. Oh my goodness. Pile 1. Let's dig in to your reveal. I'm trying to get the lighting as I'm sitting in the dark for the most part, so forgive me. So we have here camouflage, caution, shapeshift, raven. Your scroll we will start with is hands, elbows, and shoulders, if that means anything to you. Your karma angel is, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce it, Uzziel. The card number 31 might mean something to you. Your planet is Mercury, the awareness of many thoughts about or from and many words. Your house is the 5th house, the power of love, investment, gambles, and other games in your creation. And your sign is Scorpio, perfection, purification to resurrect, the secrets of, resulting from the power of. And your shaman dream card is the cosmic womb, divine feminine. So there we go. We'll just let those be there for a second. If you want to take it in, hopefully you can see it all okay. There we go. Just going to grab that. All right. Okay, so I am seeing like a Swiss Army knife almost. And the way I'm seeing it is it's a Swiss Army knife. But it's like, imagine if you were seeing like the Matrix in slow motion, and it's like you see all the movements like, and that's how I can see it there. It's like all these movements are happening, but like different skills. I also want to note the way that's coming through when I see that, because it's also something about the feet and the way you might be connecting, grounding, earthing. There also might be a pressure point in the foot, specifically in the heel area that you're working through, or heel health, like the heel of your foot. But I have here, when I'm drawn to the runes,
there's 5,
which is, and we do have the 5th house, caution, camouflage, shapeshift. So you might resonate with being like a secret shapeshifter of sorts. And this isn't to be in the nasty way. The ability to shift, the ability to adapt is the way I'm getting that feeling when I wander into pile 1's energy vortex. But I also want to know, like, as that's like gathering momentum, and if there's any sort of shards trying to come in from other people, places, or things in your life, ideas, introspections, whatever the case may be, that have been embodied or adopted by somebody else, and they're being projected back to you, you're very cautious in the way that you reveal these layers, right? It's like that Matrix again thing, like, and all the bullets just kind of fly by, because it's like you can do something with that time. Does that make, I think it's time, but whatever the case, maybe just the space of, because, but it's like unknown, but it's like they have an idea, because even like in the Matrix,
Bible.
I really wasn't expecting this to go Matrixy, but we have the perfect coloring of the lighting back there. How he, what is it, Neo or whatever his name is, and the other guy is his adversary or, you know, enemy, opposition, but they're the same. They both grow, and it's like he can hide in different people, right, in their skin or something along that lines. And that's like the camouflage is how that's coming through. So you're very mindful of other people that step forward to you. And this isn't in like a paranoia. This isn't, I don't want to feel paranoia. Where is it? And maybe that's what you're noticing. Because other people have different Swiss Army shape-shifting skills as well. So you can sense that somehow. And it's not a bad thing, right? Like that skill set isn't bad. But it's the intent behind it. It's the intention. That's what it's making me feel like. Okay, I'm going to keep digging in here if you want to join me. There we go. Sorry. I'm actually going to read from the book on this because I don't 100% know, but it is the Karma Angels deck. I've had this deck for so long, and I only bring it out every so often, but it's so fancy and gold and sparkly. It's fantastic. Okay, so what that was making me feel like is there's been times over my life where if I'm for one reason or another, like specifically in the grocery store, or I'm heading to a person's place that is generally more, I don't want to say more comparatively, but like if I'm going to my mom's or any of my home circle friends, and it's like these watchers go into the physical body. I call them watchers, but I don't actually have what it is. But, and anyway, so I will be walking across, you know, in the grocery store, and there might be a person standing there. They're typically gentlemen. I've only seen 1 or 2 women, and they will suddenly turn. It's like they like that Matrix thing, the other person that's not Neo. I can't Anderson, maybe Anderson goes in, and someone turns and looks at me really odd, and you can see that they as their human form don't know why they're looking at me, but then they tend to do like this weird movement, and they do like some weird face thing, and they usually become very robotic in any sort of subtle movements, but it's like they can't quite animate the whole body, just like these subtleties. And there's a whole aura about this. I understand it sounds crazy, but if you're here, you're sensitive, you have an understanding about these subtleties, right? Of these shape-shifting subtleties. And it might be just like these general movements. And then you can see it kind of like, or sense it dissipate. And then that person like goes, oh, and like heads back to, you know, looking at whatever he's looking at in the grocery store.
That's mine.
Anyway, so that's how it makes me feel. Very interesting. I haven't thought about that in a long time. But it's bringing me into, and I apologize if that was a ramble unnecessary. It's bringing me into your Mercury card, the awareness of many thoughts about or from many words. Even shape-shifting through words. You might also be changing your own language a little bit, or you might have like a secret language. And the power of love here in the 5th house of what you invest in. And these games, it's like sometimes you might feel like there's people or energies playing games with you. But it's, again, wow, this is so fascinating. It's like I'm in the Matrix movie, and it's like it all seems like a game to them. Or, you know, Neo doing one thing, everyone's intention, whatever it is that they're doing for one reason or another, but it's all your creation. And there's something about maybe you have the wisdom of knowing that your energy isn't actually being affected, right? If someone's bringing something towards you and you are agreeing that they can affect you positively or negatively, then you are creating that. And I feel like you have that. And if anyone in your world is lying, you absolutely can kind of see through it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're, guns a-blazing type thing, but it just, you have a knowing. You have a knowing. There also might be some, through the power of your own love and how you walk your talk, because that's how I'm feeling it. This is your talk through all this Mercury, your awareness of your own thought forms. And with the power of love, it's bringing me into the feet here. What you step forward to, what you co-create with other creators of sorts. And some things are being put to rest. And when I say that, it's because in Scorpio, like that death concept, the purification and what you're resurrecting, what you decide to resurrect. There's also some that might very much so be in the space of resurrecting an old part of yourself. And actually, when I say old part of yourself, I mean something from maybe your childhood, adolescence, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever that means to you in that time space weirdness. You're resurrecting like this, even if it's a confidence of something, and taking the gamble on yourself, what you wish to create, and the way you're co-communicating and co-creating with, like what, like even in your environments, because it's bringing me into the grocery stores, the gas station, your workspaces. And it's not like diminishing anyone or anything to
Libra,
non-defining character. I can't remember what they're called again. It's not about that, but it's understanding your relationship to it. And you're the one with kind of this controller, not controlling anyone else, but how you control the communication and what comes back, what you absorb in. Does this make sense? I really, really hope so. Because as I'm saying that, it's because the divine feminine, the cosmic womb comes in of what you take in, what you decide to nurture, what you decide to use your energy and resources in your physical senses. This isn't all about psychic senses or sixth senses. This is drawing them in to absorb and integrate into your human existence, because this is the point, right? They are to be drawn in and utilized in conjunction with. So whatever you decide to bring in your energy, it's like your whole aura is a womb. That's what it makes me feel like. And you're very bright, pile one. You're very bright, and sometimes you need to camouflage your brightness. Okay, let's take a look at your angel card, which is 31. There we go. Uziel, caring compassion. Whilst the angel's name means God is my strength. The energy of the card is one of powerful compassion. It is the compassion of being strong in yourself and your own purpose. When this card appears, it shows you must care about your own path at this time. The challenge, should you choose to accept, is staying true to your own course. The lesson is every man and every woman is a star. And it's really quite beautiful, if I may, because I feel like we've been talking about this in one way, shape, or form. I'll also bring up, if you wanted to take a snapshot of the meaning, because this makes me feel as though we've been talking about that. It's like not looking at everyone and everything as one of those it's like non-playing characters, NPCs.
Nobody
maybe
understands.
It is a matter of not seeing them as that to diminish. This is actually to keep them empowered in their own space. But the responsibility with you is very much so the Swiss Army, that you can dodge certain bullets because you're like, I'm not absorbing this, or I'm not agreeing upon. It's like somebody saying, I have a block, and saying that to you, it's like, oh, well, you have a block. And you're like, but I don't. But they want you to believe you do, because they want to be the physical representation of that, because that might serve a purpose for them. Does that make sense? I feel like that's a rough way of saying it, but nonetheless, there it is. Okay, we'll add on a tarot card just to close out here. So we have the Eight of Swords. Oh, there was another one that came through.
It's cold.
Is it cold? It's getting cold in here. So the Eight of Swords might mean something to you, but I do feel like this is part of the way I'm feeling it is, and if you know me, I'm reading the art first versus the words or the card meaning. In some way, shape, or form, sometimes...
Am I a ghost?
Yes, you are, my love. You are absolutely a ghost, but you are so much alive, and you are so here with us. And we are ready to communicate if you have a message you would like to share. Sometimes you camouflage yourself so it looks like you're in imprisonment. You know what I mean? Some way, shape, or form to someone or something, but you're really fine, and you know that. But it's almost like you're just blocking off with all these mental mercuries, and you're like, okay, and if it is... If it is in point of like your Swiss Army knife of something internal that you're moving through and processing, it kind of feels like you're not blocked off, because I don't want to say that. That's not what it feels like. It feels as though I am sitting and looking at these different thoughts. All these words, are they helping or hindering? This is your ability.
I'm hiding.
The Hierophant. And I feel like this is like your nature. You have a space of knowing. Some other people know, maybe these watchers or whatever you might call them, they know that you know. And every so often they like to let you know that they know that you know. But there's something about like this just calm demeanor, and something about your ability to even notice like he's covering his hands and one of those things, and then you have the hands and feet. And sometimes just kind of covering, it's like a camouflage. There, he could have something in there, right? And I don't want to say it's skeptical, but you have this ability to know what is a secret, any sort of power. If somebody's trying to hold power over you, if you're holding back your own power, whatever the case may be. I hope this makes sense. Pile 1. I'm going to let you go. Please do consider giving this a like, share, subscribe if it did educate, entertain, or inspire. And I will see you on the flip side to of any other piles you might have chosen or otherwise. Until then, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 2. How you do? If you're ready for your reveal, let's pitter patter, get at her. So your scroll is August, Virgo. And if any of the shapes or symbols stand out to you, please feel well to comment below and inspire the reading, as truly your perspective is powerful and it does deepen the reading. Your runes here are change, metamorphosis, hopefully that's clear enough, and trust in self with the crocodile. Interesting. Okay. And let's carry on here by adding your other cards. So from the Shaman's Dream, we have Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. Hi, Arthur. Or are you shouting out to an Arthur? For your sign, we have here Leo, self-confidence to create, take a chance on, resulting from the impressiveness of. For your house, we have the 12th house, your faith, hidden tendencies, and large institutions or overwhelming events. From your planet, we have here Mars, energize, confront, and force yourself to. And those are karma cards. And then your karma angel is, can't pronounce any of them correctly, so I apologize. Zadkiel, card number 32. And we will actually read that from the book. Okay, sorry, one moment. Sorry, I had to sneeze. My nose is all red. I had to sneeze. All right, let's dig in here. Pile 2. Okay, so I want to wander right into... I hear you in the scroll. Yeah, I hear you. Give me a moment. There's something about this Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing, and your 12th house that's connecting to me. Like there's bars on this one. There's wings on this one. The way I'm seeing this is like a sewer grate. There's actually... interesting. So I want to say like no access from the outside. So you might have, I feel like something put away in safekeeping. And reflectively, in another rabbit hole, there also might be something that you are trying to connect to. Perhaps something in turning the wheel of karma, of time, reflections, what I want, desire, and it's like I'm looking through that.
Apologize.
I'm sorry. So sorry. You have lots of Leo energy coming through. There's something changing in regards to your luck and right timing. But this is something about you having to trust in that you even have that ability, or that you can continuously energize and confront the different... Okay. So it's like I'm going to say confront the different obstacles, but it's really just like an obstacle course, something in for safekeepings. It's like being in a video game. It was all Matrixy in pile one. Now I'm in video games. Okay. And in order to get access to this secret land or to go to the next level, there's like, you might feel like there's something you missed, or it's like, oh, I didn't get enough of this or something like that. So you go back and you like, I see it, the way I'm seeing it is you're going back and I don't know the word. Well, I do know the word, but I don't know the word right now. Retrace your steps, and you get to a certain point from this retracing, and then you work out from there. I feel like you didn't actually miss anything. The point kind of is that there's hidden tendencies within your own kind of faith frequency. And I feel like this is a frequency in yourself with this trust here. And you're changing that. Even in here in your sign card, your self-confidence to create, take the chance on, resulting from the impressiveness. You might also sometimes look at other people, places, or things that have what you, or have achieved something that you would deem success. And I feel like they are meant to be an inspiration to you. They're not competition. It's not there to enhance your hidden tendencies to maybe to use that as self-sabotage or something along that line.
Vengeful.
And yeah, to kind of, take on a different air. It's actually there to inspire you to say, yes, it can be achieved. But it's like, I retrace my steps. It's like, where did I go wrong? There's no right or wrong. It's a matter of just taking a few steps back, or be willing to wander into your hidden, your very esoteric energy. Your very esoteric energy. And it's like, somehow it's like you find a point, maybe it's in your language, or maybe it's in your psychology, and you're like, oh, every time I meet this, or I see this, or whatever the case is, I don't know, because I feel like the whole external world, like this video game, is there for you to play in and interact with, to really achieve, right? The character that starts the game, and by the end of the game is charged, right? Has had all these experiences, all these different things. It's not so much about this success failure. There's always this ability to kind of, where was your last save point? That's what, okay. Oh, and it's like, and then you come out of that last save point, and it's like, okay, all right, from here. And I have the confidence to create and recreate, continuously take the chance on. Take the chance on you. Take a chance on me. There might have been some brute force. And sometimes you're also forcing yourself to confront these hidden tendencies, because where they are in these, like maybe these little sewer grates or these portals, and for some it might even be like working through fears. And when I'm saying fears, I feel like it's from actual experiences. It doesn't feel willy-nilly like, oh, I have a fear of ladders and there's, nowhere to logically put it. It feels like I have this fear because of this experience in my past. So it could be past life, or not even past life, past regressions in the here and now. And maybe those are going back to some of those save points that you have in your mind and your heart. There's lots of hiding going on, but it feels like it's like protecting yourself. And in order for the wheels to start turning, Here's like the wheels of the chariot here. It's placing that hand on your heart and receiving from the higher self, if I may. And even if other people in this video game are pointing at you, it could be an adoration. And you're, again, maybe there's a fear. It's like you've had a stalker before, or, you don't trust. It reminds me of when I had my identity stolen and, you go into the bank and just looking around at everyone, I'm like, is everyone a criminal in here? Like, is the person who took it here? And I was just like a mess, in a very big state of mistrust of everybody around me. I felt like their faces were weird. It was very odd. I felt very, very vulnerable. And because of that vulnerability, in those moments, I felt like I was projecting out to them that they had ill intent, and that they were liars. But you know what I mean. All right, so let's continue on here. I kind of want to go back to your scroll because I saw it immediately, and then it gave me a really quick jumping off point. So I want to note that as well, because your scroll immediately, like seeing this trampoline, and it was like I was immediately able to jump right into seeing all these things. So you might be surprised at how fast. It's like, because you've done this course before, or whatever, this video game save point, you can get through parts pretty quickly. But I feel like the point is to not rush the process, because you're actually looking for hidden things. So you might be knocking on random bricks or something like that, or whatever video game people do, but to find those Easter eggs. I'm also seeing this as a Kubert square, and someone like meditating on it with like Shiva or Shiva, or is it Shakti? I apologize. Going out. There's also these like points of reference. I feel like you might even be doing these in different chakra energy elements at one time. How do I say that? Okay, so it's like kind of having a video game on the go, but you have many different logins. So sometimes maybe you go into your login, whatnot, and you look around that way. Or you can try different things with that, but then there's like still this main character that kind of takes what maybe these other logins that you've had. And please apply this to wherever it may fit. It doesn't have to be video games, but you know what I'm saying. Even if they're skills, whether they're energy skills, earthly skills, learning to do something. And I feel like you do have a hidden talent, and maybe it's just still hidden. Okay. Let's read your Karma Angel. Because I will admit, 32, if the number 32 means anything to you. Zadkiel verifies and vindicates. This is the presence of forgiveness and mercy, of sparing someone suffering. It is righteousness that has checked itself and been cleared of all suspicion. In a reading, it shows that there is no harmful intent and that the situation is as it appears. Your challenge, should you choose to accept, is to accept what has been presented to you. The lesson is working as if something is true can lead to it becoming true. Your faith, self-confidence to create, and energizing yourself in that self-confidence makes the change. It's like opening up a whole new world, unlocking another level. Change, metamorphosis, trust in yourself. This is like an old wisdom. Maybe you hide that. It's like when some people are so smart that they hide it. Whatever your smart is, right? Or whatever your skill set is. Or you're learning something and you're like, I don't want to look like an idiot being a student. But that's the brilliance of it, to be an honorable student, not necessarily looking to be on the honor roll.
Run now.
However, but just being in honor of yourself, to say, I am so grateful to be a humble student, as it will, like those other characters or logins, as it feeds and fuels the master within you. Because even in this card, and I will bring it over so you can see it better. You see the people in the background? These cards are so shiny and gold. I love it. And they're like pointing. You can either see that as pointing and laughing at you, or you can see that as pointing at you in adoration because you have forgiven yourself. It kind of brings me into the show Game of Thrones, like when the main girl or the main queen, and it's like shame, shame, shame. You might feel that, but I feel like this is really offering you some space of forgiveness and you forgiving them. If there's anyone or anything in your life that you are releasing and you're taking a chance on yourself, because it's almost like your forgiveness is very impressive. But once there's forgiveness, you move on. You actually don't stick around for anything. Does that make sense? I'm going to come back into your scroll here as we close out pile 2 with a tarot card or 2, depending on what comes out. Thank you so much if you have decided to give it a like or a comment, whatever feels well. And I appreciate your support and your attention and awareness. It truly warms my haunted heart. We have the Queen of Spears versus the Queen of Swords. Okay. And then you also have here the Sun. The sun will come out tomorrow. If the Queen of Wands means anything to you, please follow that. And of course, the Sun. I want to put the Sun, if we can go back to this view for just a moment, I want to note that the Sun and Leo is bringing me all together. It's like I'm calling for this to happen. To find this, and I'm doing the work. I am doing the work on many levels. There's also, like a hat or a cap or something that came. It's almost like you're getting a hat. Again, I'm going to come into that video game thing. It's a little weird for me, but it's like you get a new outfit in this game, and maybe it's the game of life. I don't know. But I'm seeing it like video games where, for completing this, you get this hat or you get this piece of clothing or this piece of armor, and it kind of lands upon your head. It could even be a crown. That's definitely the way I'm seeing it. But you're kind of sitting pretty. It's almost like after I go through this forgiveness, that's where you become very impressive, at least the way I'm feeling it. And I hope you feel that within yourself first and foremost, because this isn't about appeasing an audience, which could be some sort of large institution or overwhelming event. Maybe you have an online audience, maybe you have an in-person audience, maybe you have a big family, work for a company, your team, whatever the case may be is. And sometimes it can be just overwhelming. But you kind of you maybe have had to force yourself to confront things head on. I'm also seeing someone look at the books, like in an accounting way, like looking at the books, and you're able to like find out hidden things. I don't know what that is about. It's like maybe, like where money is going, or the ledger. Is it the ledger? I hear it's a ledger.
Harm.
Keeping track of things and again, it's like finding out hidden things that might be habitually, in some way, shape, or form, what you might perceive as is harming you. Or harming your financial space, or your business, or your savings account, something along the lines. And you're taking a look at that. And I'll always personalize it first best I can, unless it comes through otherwise. It's, where am I spending too much? Oh my goodness, I didn't realize by keeping this ledger that I'm, house stuff, groceries, gas, eating out, coffees, whatever, all the things people spend money on. And you're taking a look at that, and even offering yourself forgiveness once it's realized, saying, wow, I'm going to choose to cut back on this, that, or the other, not because it's a punishment, because you're making a conscious choice to invest that money or what clothes, shoes, whatever these resources are, into something else. It's, it's like stopping cable. And it's not because it's like, oh, it's a punishment. We can't afford cable. It's so expensive. It's like, no, we're going to choose to do this, to invest that other time, or even open up that time to possibly something else that you can't conceive of yet. That's what it makes me feel like, pile 2. I hope this made sense. I hope it did serve, strengthen your sense of self and spirit and soul. Feel free to give it a like if it did inspire, educate, or entertain. And I will see you on the flip side for if you chose another pile, or I'll see you again soon. Gratitude for being you. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you'd like to, oh, hi, garden. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat, we'll do your reveal. All right, pile 3. Your runes are New Rhythm, Woodpecker, Shine, Dragonfly. I think I just heard the song. It might be called Shine, actually, from Collective Soul.
Dislike.
Do you not like that song? Okay, we'll put those off to the side for a moment. Your reveal of your scroll is April Taurus or April Aries. Okay, yeah, I am here. I am shining. Very much so shining. You're spreading your wings, pile 3, spreading your wings. Is there a new project that you're working on, considering working on, spreading your wings out, stretching yourself to new limits, moving beyond your norm, starting a new project, maybe even building a new home? I feel like some of you also might consider trying new foods or something along that lines. I feel like just something's new. New. Spreading my wings. It's like I'm stretching my hula hoop, my comfort zone. I'm broadening. This is what it feels like. I feel like I'm broadening. Pile 3, incredible. Your Karma Angel card is, I can't pronounce them, so we'll read the book on this. Akea 27. Something about time is stepping through. Time is precious. There's a lot of fast movement up here. Something about your throne as well. And airflow. Your planet. Is it the planet? Yeah, okay. Is the North Node. There will be success from and the benefits of. See? Even in maybe you're in your North Node, broadening out, it's like the whole world is here for you and you can grab hold of it. I'm just going to put it up there as we continue to reveal here. Your house is the 9th house, as if it or they came from all there is. The philosophies and laws involved do it in a big way. There is something in a big way. Like it's right here.
Stay with me.
It's in a big way. Your sign is Aquarius, genius to experiment with, the discoveries of, resulting from the eccentricity of. Interesting.
I'm not sure.
This is about what I'm feeling like, sharing roles within even oneself, bearing weights in different aspects. This feels also very subconscious, conscious oriented.
Andrew.
And your shaman's dream is the first breath, beginner's mind. Yeah, see. Okay. Pile 3. I just heard that song. Take a look at my girlfriend. Then she's the only one I want. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Take a look at something. You're definitely broadening. Like, it's like I started here with one square, with one seed, one plot of land, one corner to plant my seed in and grow something that you want. Or this is how big my house is, or my apartment, or my tiny home. You're upsizing, downsizing. I don't want this to be skewed. And when I say broadening, that necessarily means the scope of something being bigger. there's something about like space in relation to this. So you might be living in a big home and you're downsizing to an apartment or a trailer or a tiny home, or moving in with somebody, because that choice as a
Caution.
downsize opens up space for you to broaden in different ways. Maybe it opens up money for you. Maybe it opens up time, responsibilities of maintenance, this, that, or the other. Do you know what I'm saying? So this isn't necessarily about adding more in, like what land that you're on. This is about the space within it. And you're like, I want this much, or I realize I only need this much. And by doing so, I can free up other resources. Because this is kind of what I'm feeling is like the genius of it. Maybe you've been experimenting with your resources, what gives the best kickback. And you've made some sort of discovery, or are still in the stage of discovering this. I feel like you might have gone about it in a curious way, but you had a particular vision for something in a certain amount of time. You're like, I wanted to complete this by this, whatever, like maybe a singular, like by this time frame, and you want to call it, right? I also feel like it's not hard and fast in the space that it's a done deal if it's not done by this time frame. There might be a few steps along the way. So maybe you go from your house and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to an apartment, and you're like, okay, this is cool. And maybe you've been there for a few years. And I'm just using what could be this descent as an example, because it absolutely could go the other way. And it's like, okay, no, okay, now I'm ready to get a tiny home or have a roommate to alleviate even more of the rent or the responsibilities. But in lieu, there's a sacrifice of privacy, sharing spaces, and that. But you're willing to do that. On the other hand, it almost is like creating, lessening through dis-ease. Like anything, you have to play with that alchemy of what sacrifices for space, time, resources, what connections create disease, and which connections dispel dis-ease, and what is not, what doesn't feel well. Does that make sense? But I feel like this is the eccentricity of it. Like you might make a few choices along the way. None of them are finite until you've decided, okay, I'm good. This is the choice for me right now. But that still isn't stagnant. That's not a stagnant space. I really hope this makes sense somewhere. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I feel like I was all over the place. All right, and I had another thought off in the other side, but I think it's gone. Okay, what else is coming? Let's see if it'll remove back. Because it's like creating planets for yourself. Okay, so I wanted to go the other way. It's like, okay, I started in an apartment or having roommates and getting more space, gaining more space, because that trade-off, again, it's like this ease and dis-ease, but the connections with that and the sacrifices that might be exchanged, or the compromises. Say, okay, well, if we get a bigger house, or I want to have a yard, this, that, or the other, that's going to come with added responsibilities, maintaining, whatever the case is. And it's like, either which way you go, it is all in best practice for you. It's not, none of these are external factors of what is success or failure. None of these are external factors for you to measure anything, but they're for in the moment for you to decide ease, dis-ease, safe, not safe. And then it's like you proceed from here. But I feel like you can do a lot, and you are doing a lot with whatever you are given. Like you're one of those people, pile 3, I can hand you a cup of water, and you're the one who figured out how to make ice cubes, like 20 ice cubes with 1 cup of water. Very odd example, but nonetheless, there it is. You can hand somebody a piece of wood and somebody can carve it into a toy or an inspirational item. That's what I'm talking about. Like you can be given something no matter where you're at in life. in whatever degrees of something or other, and you can do something
Dining.
with it. But once you sense dis-ease, I'm getting the sensation is it means you've grown out of it. Acknowledge that. That's what's creating the non-ease. You've grown out of it, outgrown your space. You're having children. You want more pets. You want more animals, whatever the case is, or downsizing, respectively, to open up other resources. Whatever it is and whatever philosophies that you're building, you do it in a big way. And I feel like sometimes it could be it is bringing me in like Pisces vibes for one reason or another. It's like suddenly you could be at this job and then you're like, okay, and it doesn't feel erratic, just maybe a little eccentric. It's like, okay, I'm done working here, but you're responsible, and you're like, okay, so I have a 1-year plan or a 5-year plan, and you start putting that into action. Okay, what is the next thing I would like to experience? What would I like to enhance? And that's where I feel like I start moving through, and that's where like more planets come into play. It's like you're never afraid of being the beginner, because it's almost like you're a badass beginner. Your death and resurrections, that you are fine with that. You are the creator you're the god of all these worlds, if I may. And you do it in a big way. Or at least that's the way other people might see it. But I feel like it's just your way. A little Frank Sinatra in there. Maybe some people come with you and they just really enjoy the way you're leaning into things. I also feel like when you're grounded, you're committed to being grounded. You're very loyal. So when you do commit to a job, person, place, or thing, you're there. You're loyal. You're very trustworthy. And I'm hearing like open communications about your ideas when you're thinking about a shift or redecorating a room or changing your clothes, whatever the case is. You're very respectful of the audience, of your coworkers or your family, whatever the case may be, is, or even like to your kids, be like, we're thinking about downsizing, so you guys are getting older now, me and your mom or me and your dad, as your parents, we don't need all this room. So we're giving you a year's notice to help you get on your feet, whatever need be, so that this change can happen. Does that make sense? And likewise, like, you give people notice. It's not about hiding anything. I actually feel like you're very involved and open about it. And this is what brings me into, hi Arthur, brings me into like that new rhythm and the shine. You're very open about it to share it, and those, and you also heed. It's like somebody who says, well, I want to come with you, or I would like to start that business with you, and you might leave a company, whatever the case is, or a collaboration, whatever the situation is. And you're like, I'd like to go with you, but I'm going to need a little extra time. So I'll see you there in, a few years later, if you get set up, and something along those lines. Because when someone else is in your space, they are sound. I also feel like you have a business idea. Maybe this is a new business, and there will be success resulting from it. And the benefits will be, will kind of spread out into all different areas of your reality, really, of your reality. It's like, there's also like this heal the world kind of thing, because I want to acknowledge, if I may, okay, sorry if that was choppy. It's like, this makes me feel like the world, like the earth, and this makes me feel like the galaxy. You're not bound to the confines of just earth. You understand it. You're here, alchemizing, working in it. But you understand also being able to tap into planetary, galactic energy. It's like you can play with universal energy respectfully. Some of you also might be magicians in some way, shape, or form. Leave. Okay, let's take a look at your Karma Angel card, which is card 27, if that means anything to you. Again, I don't pronounce anything correctly, so I apologize. Achaea, patient perseverance. An angel whose name means trouble. In a reading, he will help you to bring about changes in your life. He advises you to be shrewd and not to take things at face value. If something does
Believe.
not feel right, it inevitably is not. You must at all times question that which does not make sense. The challenge, should you choose to accept, is testing out even the obvious situations. The lesson here is what is thought is the first moment. What is thought in the first moment is often true. This brings me into that ease, dis-ease feeling. Time. When's the right time? Things are done in a big way. Sometimes it feels like when those who come at you, or even of yourself, it's like, I have this big idea. If they can't back it up,
Knock.
including you as well, if they can't back it up, to you that means trouble. And you see that. Something might seem really great on the surface, but then you're like, I have this instinct. But there's something genius about the way you interact with this, because it doesn't feel insulting. I will say it doesn't feel insulting. I also want to know, because I just noticed when I was talking about like that planetary galactic energy here, and whatever new beginning it is, that you're a new project, a new place, a new wherever it is, it's right here in your 9th house, as if it or they came from all there is. And there's something about your awareness of that. It's like you're working with more than one set of laws, philosophies. And you kind of let those rush on by, and the MC Hammer style, they can't touch this. They can't touch this. If anyone has any trouble that they're going to send you or create trouble for you,
In front of you.
you are successful in receiving, one, the benefits of any sort of lesson in the event that you step forward. And two, I feel like it can just like kind of go by you. If that's what you decide. You're like, no thanks, that opportunity is not great for me. And you're like, that's cool. All right. Pile 3. I hope that made sense somewhere along the lines. I truly do appreciate if you give it a like, share, and subscribe. All the links are below to help it out grow. We're going to add on tarot card. If this means anything to you, please follow that with the 6 of coins. See, somebody wants to tell you something. Somebody wants to be like, here, this is what you want to do. It's for the family. But I can't help but feel that also in some regards, this is you also telling others, your partner, your spouse, your boss, your coworker, or whatever the case maybe is. You're like, you know what? This is my 5-year plan. It's like being in a job interview and so what's your 5-year plan? Well, let me tell you what my 5-year plan is. And yes, there's wiggle room and I can make amendments to it along the way. But as of right now, as it stands, this is my 5-year plan. You're absolutely experimenting with ethereal and earthly energies. Because you are the king. People come, king or queen, just your energies and difference. People want to approach you because of the way you're doing things. Your willingness to step into situations that are curious for you, that hold something for you, actually, if I may. They just hold value. It's not about necessarily like what the outcome of it is. While that's important, it's like you can see the value one way or the other. And maybe in some way, shape, or form, somebody might try and tell you or continuously offer you things. And you take the time to decide. You take the time to decide. Sorry, there's something else standing out over here, and I'm going to bring it back in for one moment, see if I can draw it back in. When you give advice, you give very good advice. You're very compassionate in your position, but you also don't give a lot of things away. You know what you do? You exude confidence. You exude confidence. And no matter what you've done, I keep seeing like this success around you, but it doesn't always look the way we might measure success from a human level. Were you shot, love? But it is kind of bringing me in like this mob boss kind of feel. I don't know. Just saying, you know, sometimes when you're the big boss, you make some enemies. But then at the same time, there's like this whole like little, is it Elon Musk or something? Like whoever the dude was that made PayPal, but then PayPal afforded new opportunities to go off and do other things. That's what this is like. Long-winded story to come to that conclusion. That's what this is like. You have the ability to do things that are serving a future of things that you can foresee, what resources you're going to put towards it. I'm going to leave it here. Oh my goodness, pile 3. I'm in the presence of a king or queen. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. The links are below to help a gal grow. And otherwise, I will see you again soon. I want to thank you for your attention and awareness as you truly warm my haunted heart. Bye. Secret Scry. Come on in if you'd like to head into the Secret Scry. Here's the reveal, or we'll get started anyway on the reveal. So the rune that came forward face up was Fate and Spider. The one that was face down, so might be hidden or unseen to you at this time, is New Rhythm and a Woodpecker. Interesting. So you might be working on a different timeline here, weaving with the woodpecker. It's like having that ability to create something wherever you want through the winds of change. Fate is not fickle with you, I'm hearing. Fate is not fickle with you, a fickle friend with you. Okay, let's reveal. So we have the casual masculine temple and feminine temple if you're looking at reverse it. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below or keep to oneself. I get you. But I do appreciate your thumbs up and your shares and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so I'm bringing something in towards you. I'm building something or weaving a basket, actually. And I feel like different things are weaving in. And something's being painted on top. Finishing touches. But people are bringing you more things.
Trying.
Yeah, trying to build things. Absolutely. I can see it here. But it feels like a basket or something like that. It feels like something I'll be able to carry other things in. You might also be working with like fae or gnomes or elementals, familiars. There are other spirits working with you. Sorry, give me a second. I have to go down in here. They're bowing their head, dangling their feet. I'm also seeing like a skateboarding ramp. I think it's skateboarding, or maybe it's like BMX biking or skateboard. I don't know, skateboard. Something along that lines. I'm also seeing clothes pegs. I'm seeing a quiet conversation. Actually, it looks like it's in a UFO or a pod. Something's going to come together at one time. I don't know how else to say that. Almost like in that air of like all at once. Okay, let's add on your Shaman's Dream card, which is Horned Cactus, Resourcefulness. Yeah, see, there are resources coming in. They're already being built too. They're also... How do I say that? Something about a security system of whatever it is that you're weaving. It's like putting a bike lock when you park your bike or something like that. And it's not out of fear that I can't leave my bike or something like that. This feels like I'm just being responsible and I'm not adding a risk factor. I'm relieving a risk factor. That's what it makes me feel like. Okay, let's add on your planet, which is Venus. Cherish, enjoy, charm, art, and beauty are the way to. Yeah, this is what you're creating. I feel like whatever this basket is, it may carry. carry for you with you. There's been some blood, sweat, and tears in there, yeah. But there's been so much. It's like I can see something being built. Or it's like I can see like Keebler elves in a tree, but they're not making cookies. They're making the tree. They are making the tree.
The doll.
Very interesting. Okay. You are creating what you love. It's very charming. It's like seeing these Keebler elves or these elemental, whatever they are, but I seeing the tree like almost like a 3D printer come into play, and it's existing, and it's beautiful, and it's charming. This is your way, Secret Scry. This is your way. Do you always see the beauty in it? Sometimes no. Somebody reminds you every so often. Somebody reminds you. And those words and those reflections are brought into you by someone or something, or maybe a book you read or music you hear. Those are from spirit, elements, energies, entities, from all different sorts of energies and souls, to remind you that what you're doing is beautiful. Because they understand there's a sympathy of the space.
True.
There's a sympathy, so they send it in to remind you. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Your house is the 6th house, if that means anything to you, as a full-time job, serving and doing it a little at a time. This is the whole little at a time. Little bits at a time. You might also be doing something part-time or a little at a time that you feel like you would like to be doing full-time. Maybe as a job, your active service to humanity. Yeah, being of service. Okay, so I'm seeing it like a fruit platter, which is so beautiful, right? If you ever, or a charcuterie board or whatever the case is. Something about the presentation feels very beautiful, like your energy here, Secret Scry. What you're presenting is beautiful, but it's like to learn that over time, to learn how you like to present things, or that is pretty for you, even profound, eye-catching. It has taken some time to kind of perfect that, but you weren't looking for perfection. But along the way, you needed a little pat on the back every so often. And it feels really nice, actually. It feels very sincere. So if anyone along the way has offered you a compliment or a reassurance, I'm getting the sense that it was very much so sincere, because again, spirit of your higher self, this other day, is working through to ensure you know that. And if there's something that you're looking at doing as a full-time job and you're working towards that, and vice versa, if you have a full-time job and you're looking to go to a part-time job, I feel like you're going, whatever it is, you're always being of service. Because what you're going to do with the spare time, what you're going to do with different time, you're going to allocate accordingly in the most beautiful way that it will always be of service. And something about sympathy really, really keeps coming through. Your sign is Virgo. The serving of others, lots of service here. The details of, and do what you must do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And you know that. You make your decisions. You might really want to put chestnuts in or almonds in your fruit platters because it gives a certain contrast, this out of the other. But at the end of the day, you're like, there's too many tree and nut allergies out there. It's just not conducive. However, you find, to be of service, you find that harmony to say, okay, well, you can order the fruit platter with the option, and they choose to put the tree nuts in. And then it releases you. And it's like, you understand, if you choose this, you're released. That's what this feels like. There's so much service that you are. I want you to know in heaven, sorry, Secret Scry pile, that you are also like to receive the service. Like, please be open to receive that. enjoy the fruits of your labor, like the fruit platter, but also receive when somebody else comes up. And again, of course, using judgment, symbolically speaking here, that comes through to say, I would like for you to enjoy this, to sit down or have a talk or a chat, whatever, relax, whatever the case is, or go somewhere, do something, go to your favorite bookstore, go for a drive or whatever, go paintballing or skateboarding, blow off some steam, because that's how they're being of service to you. Does that make sense? So enjoying the fruits of labors from all around. You're also not afraid to make those tough decisions, tough decisions, but decisions nonetheless. Heaven. Last but not least, we have here your karma angel is Sakiel. I want to come back into just acknowledging your runes as well. I'm actually going to read this card because I'm not going to pretend like I know. But I do love them because the cards are so shiny and they're so pretty. And I've had them for such a long time. I just don't draw them out very often. Okay, number 16 might mean something to you. Just and justice. The Archangel of Jupiter, Sakiel, brings both jovial. Okay, that's fine. Jovial and abundance to our lives. The angel rules over financial issues, politics, law, and all traditional aspects of society. This is a highly beneficial card to receive in a future position, as it indicates financial reward and blessings. It also challenges us to enjoy and share any wealth we receive, and to recognize that such wealth is sometimes only a passing pleasure. Your challenge, should you choose to receive, is to give in the power of abundance. Your lesson, that's always there, is life has a natural order that always finds its balance. When I wander into your new rhythm with the woodpecker, I'm hearing this. Rhythm is a dancing, it's a soul's compassion. You can do it anywhere. Okay, give me one moment. I want to just kind of quickly go through this. Like, can you see through this vision of this weave? Maybe you're just weaving your own balance, your own bucket to put things in your abundance in. Whatever is abundance to you. And it's like putting fruit in a basket at the grocery store. And the abundance of said fruit, when it ripens, is to be eaten. It is to be enjoyed. And it is a passing pleasure. Otherwise, that ripe turns to rot. And whoever's here does not, in this scry, you don't waste. It doesn't go to rot. You will give it away. You might exchange it for something else. It's like an avocado. There's a perfect time. And if that passes, you'll still be able to find something else to do with it. Something is greatly being of service. You are being of service and being service to. It is quite a conundrum, but I mean that in the best way. Maybe this is the whole thing about Jupiter. To receive the challenges us, to receive, to recognize the wealth, to share your wealth. And I feel like this is what you do. Like, you make these fruit platters, but also enjoy the fruit platters of other people. These passing pleasures. And I kind of don't worry that they're passing, because I know the next one will come. I trust it will always come in. And I know, like the cactus wisdom, or whatever the cactus symbol might mean to you, it's like I'm not fated by my fickleness, maybe. But I reserve a certain amount of nourishment to ensure I can always and continue. I cherish that to be of service. A little bit at a time. Give a penny, save a penny. Need a penny, take a penny. One at a time. This feels beautiful. Secret Scry. I'm not going to linger. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to add on a tarot card. Lies, lies, lies. We have here 4 of Spears. This is so welcoming, so welcoming. Your hearth and your home, whether it's your physical home, your energy, your aura, it feels very appreciative of others when you get the same kind of vibe. Not the same vibe verbatim, different resources sharing. It's like being at a dinner party and everyone brings a different plate. Some people bring the same plate, but it tastes different. You're like, I'm so grateful because, oh, this one was made with nuts. This one isn't. Or this one's vegan. This one's meat. It's nice when the lasagna is made 2 different ways. You're kind of walking into this path that truly is abundant. It's like coming into a party. You also might be getting engaged, engaging yourself in something that celebrates that you wish to enjoy. It's so beautiful here. It's so beautiful. Even people around you, or the people that you decide to grace your offerings to, I can't even. It feels very sacred, and I feel very aware and honored to be in this energy. So thank you. Thank you very much for being you. I'm going to let you go, Secret Scry. It's been a good day. It's been a good morning. And whenever you find this, I hope that it inspires, irritates, educates, or entertains. You warm my haunted heart. Until next time. Bye. Oh, I feel like I was just in the presence of I don't even know. I don't even know how to say peace. Peace. Gorgeous.